Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
So glad you joined us for this video. I suspect people are sitting around in their pajamas. There's probably debris everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Christmas wrapping.
Yeah. We're so glad you've taken the time to watch this video. We promise it'll be brief, right?
Has to be.
We want to talk a little bit about peace because that's what we've been talking about for the whole month of December. Is when the angels showed up, their announcement to those shepherds was, glory to God in the highest, which you would expect.
Yes.
And then peace on earth. So we've been talking about peace and what it is and how to have it, and specifically around the holidays, a lot of people don't live with peace. I was having a conversation with somebody just last Sunday about this whole thing when their family gets together for the holidays. All it is one big fight. And so peace in a family is important. Peace in your heart, peace in your mind. What do you guys think of when you think of peace? What comes to your mind? What does it look like?
I think for me, it's not the lack of turmoil. It's not the lack of conflict. Unfortunately, we've been in a position just in this last few weeks of families who have lost loved ones, turned right around and lost another significant loved one.
Right.
And that brought just a lot of heartbreak and a lot of disappointment, a lot of stress, but just watching those families interact with each other, I saw a lot of love and a lot of inner strength and a lot of just embracing each other. And I thought, man, that they're in the midst of their heartbreak, and yet they have found this strength and this peace.
Wow. So even in a very, very difficult situation, you can have peace. That's interesting. Amanda, what do you think when you think peace?
For me, peace, it's like not like a audible quiet, but like a world quiet. Like I don't do Facebook like normal people. I don't have social media.
Like normal people.
Well, yeah, I don't have like a gazillion friends. I just have my family.
That's my normal life.
Right? I just have my family. I have family who live overseas, who live around the country, and that's how we keep up. I don't do any of the other stuff. I do Pinterest occasionally to help with work and stuff like that, but I don't watch the news. I don't do any of that. I just kind of don't let the world in. And for me, that is a peace, because then I'm not comparing myself, and that's a big struggle for me, is comparing myself and my family and what we're doing to other people. And so not having that it creates a peace in me, and then that creates a peace in my home, because that stuff's not there.
So you've taken a proactive, preemptive step, and I know what causes me to be not at peace, and so I want to eliminate the things that tend to.
Yeah.
That's really wise.
Yeah.
Aaron?
Peace is a big word.
It's 5 letters.
It's a lot packed into that 5
It's
letters.
one syllable.
It's a lot packed into one syllable. But I think for me, because I really haven't, as we started this series, I really started kind of redefining what peace means to me. And that peace on earth, I feel like Jesus is peace, in a big way. Where you're right, Mike, like you said, there's things that we can't control, that all things aren't just going to come together and be good and great Christmas morning.
No.
The problems that we have are always going to be there. They're going to be somewhere. And I think it's choosing that deep down peace. We talked about families. And I see a lot during funerals of believers. There's this not worrying where that person is going.
Absolutely.
That bigger idea of what peace is. It's not a tranquil time. For me, it's not a tranquil time set apart in a piece of the day. It's not no war. It's not this or that, because I don't think that's really obtainable.
Yeah.
I don't think that kind of peace is obtainable. But the kind of peace, that eternal peace, that resting in the fact that through all these troubles, there's something at the end. There's something deeper. There's Jesus that gives you that soul peace. Your soul can be at peace. And I think really looking at what we've been studying the last couple of weeks, that's kind of what peace has turned into me. It's gotten a much bigger meaning in my head and the way I think about things. Even when it comes to family, you're right. Getting the family together around the holidays, I could be having the biggest brawl out argument with my brother, but if something goes down and were to happen, there's peace enough there to know that there's bigger things there than our little argument. And when things get real, we love each other, we're there. And I think that's the kind of peace that I hope people can start to understand.
It's interesting that you said that peace of soul, because the word peace is that ancient Hebrew word shalom, and one of its meanings is an overflowing outward and inward joy. Like there's something going on inside of you, despite what's going on around you, and it just overflows. And then it leads to the other definition is serenity,
Yeah.
which is what Jesus came to bring us, that whole peace of mind, the whole peace of thought. So let's get practical. How can a family sitting around today, maybe they're about to have a big meal, or maybe somebody's coming over, how can the people watching our video today, how can they promote peace in their life? Is there some things they can do to add a sense of peace, peace of heart, peace of mind, serenity to their lives today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially coming from a mom point of view. Because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have the perfect Christmas morning and all that. Just let the expectations go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your kids are not going to remember if the turkey was, the best or anything like that. They're going to remember you being there. They're going to remember you sitting with them and playing games and all that. And just let the expectations go. If something burns, if dinner is ruined, whatever, have a peanut butter or jelly sandwich. It doesn't matter. The point is you're all together and you're enjoying that time together. And in these days and times, there's not a lot of opportunities for us to be together as a family. So just enjoy it. Don't spend all your time in the kitchen or, making everything picture perfect, because that's not what matters.
Gosh, I appreciate your perspective on that a whole lot, because I've never, that doesn't enter my mind as the man.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of ladies that can relate to that.
Oh, I'm sure.
The pressure
Yeah.
to have that perfect Instagram, the perfect Christmas card picture. Christmas is huge for you guys.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I used to be that way. I compared myself, but now, we're all in our pajamas all day. Nobody
Fun.
cares. If dinner gets made, it gets made. We have cereal for breakfast. I mean, it's not, we just enjoy each other's company.
That's great.
Yeah.
You can't beat Cinnamon Toast Crunch anyways.
For sure. For almost anything.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, or
Breakfast,
dinner.
lunch, dinner, Christmas
Yeah.
dinner, bring it on.
If you have a box and a jug of milk, you're set for at least a day.
At least.
How else can people find peace today? Make peace.
CTC
Promote peace.
food. Oh, I think when it comes to practical peace, like how to find peace practically, I've spent Christmases with all of my family. I spent Christmases with complete strangers. I spent Christmases alone. I think a lot of us can say at least 2 Christmases ago, some of us spent Christmas alone.
Yeah.
Wow.
I spent Christmas here, I spent Christmas overseas. Perspective, I think, will do a lot around, especially today. If you're able to count your blessings and to realize that even if there is a lot of bad stuff going on, that you're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah.
If you're with somebody, if you're not, I'm sure I've reached out to you. There is always a place with us at our table. There's always a place.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, if you're sitting alone today and you want a meal, you can come to the Craft House. We will definitely welcome you and
Yeah.
have enough food for you.
Yeah,
Marketplace.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That perspective, though, I think will do a lot for people. It does a lot for me. Just kind of remembering where I could be, and realizing that I am in a place of a lot of peace.
Are you connecting gratitude to a sense of peace? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That the more thankful you are, the more peaceful you are? The more aware of your blessings you are, the more peaceful you
I
are.
think the more you leave room for peace to be, for you to recognize that peace, for you to
That's really
recognize. Yeah, the more grateful you can be, the more you leave room for that peace.
So maybe reduce expectations, keep the big thing the big thing.
Yeah.
Be grateful, be thankful. What else can we do, Mike? You got any thoughts?
I was just thinking, as you guys were talking in a retrospective or looking back kind of thing, is at the end of the day, this day, Christmas Day, is another day. It is literally just a day that we've set aside to be whatever it is we've decided we want that day to be, and kind of encapsulating what I'm hearing you guys say, what I'm thinking. At the end of the day, even if I find myself by myself in my thoughts, is for me it's just a moment of a reminder and thankfulness that I'm going to set this day apart for me personally, as I am thankful that Jesus came. Thankful that for me what this represents. It doesn't represent that to a lot of people. I mean, it is the gifts, it is the family, and it is encapsulating the Christmas card picture. But I personally, and I've said this before, kind of use this holiday season as to kind of amp myself up for the big celebration that's coming, Resurrection Sunday. Because this is kind of a symbol or a remembering of a journey of a life that was born 33 years earlier and culminated in a sacrifice for me. And it was the ultimate gift.
We always celebrate communion on our Christmas Eve service, and that kind of takes people who've never been there by surprise, and it might kind of be off-putting that why would we celebrate communion on Christmas Eve?
Celebrating a death.
Celebrating
Yeah.
a death the day before we celebrate the birth. And I think what you said is exactly right. He came here to die.
Yeah.
And we cannot forget that. I want to get real practical with just some things that we do at our house so that we can have some peace. And the first one for me is that I think maybe along with what you were saying, don't take yourself too seriously. Because nobody else does.
No.
So I will wear all day, light up cat pajama onesie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nobody wins.
No, it's not.
It's beautiful. In fact, it's so beautiful. I think what I'm going to do is splice in a picture of me wearing that right here. There you go. So don't take yourself so seriously.
No.
I mean, it's a celebration. It should be
is.
fun. You should have
It
a good
is.
time.
It is.
The second thing we always do is, because sometimes we have some contrary people come over for dinner, and you know the conversation, you just know the conversation is going to go south. So before we pray, I say, here's the rules for the dinner table, or here's the rules for the house. Here are some things you cannot talk about for the next hour. And I'll make a list, and usually it's things like politics or a political candidate, COVID, you can't use the word COVID, you can't use the word quarantine. What are your rules? I mean, set some ground rules and just expect the people that come to your house, this only works if it's at your house, and you get to set the rules, but just tell them this is what we're going to talk about and this is what we're not going to talk about. It really does, it has helped us immensely over the years. And the third thing I try to remember is I don't have to attend every argument that I get invited to.
Preach.
You know, some people just want to start
Yeah.
a contrary discussion, and there's a place for that. But around my table at Christmas time,
Not.
it's not it. I would much rather, just like you said, enjoy being with family. So maybe just set some rules. Don't take yourself so seriously, and if you want to borrow my cat pajamas, y'all feel free. Any day but Christmas Day.
Need the stilts too.
Yeah, you would.
No thanks.
Well, from us to you, we just want to say we love you. We hope you have a great Christmas celebrating with your family. We want you to tap into that whole thing that the angels announced, peace on earth. And one of the greetings and one of the farewells that Jesus would often use was peace be with you. And if there's one thing we could say to you today, for me, it would be peace be with you.
Yes.
Peace be with you guys. Peace be with you as a family. And may you experience the peace that Jesus has to offer, because he's why we're here.
Yes.
He's why we're celebrating. Have a great Christmas. Bye.
Bye.
You gonna say bye?
Bye.
Really do the whole
Oh
thing.
gosh, I'm sorry. I just knocked him in the head.